Welcome to the chapter 2 of the Bhagavad-Gita study. This chapter is the largest of all chapters, consisting of 72 verses. It has been divided into 5 broad sections. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Raghava Swamini Tinamine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. So the second chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, as it is, consists of 5 sections. The first section is a continuation of Arjuna's further doubts and questions. Krishna then begins to answer them and teach Arjuna systematically about the spirit soul, about dharma, about buddhi yoga, and finally the self-realized stage or samadhi. And in all these stages he is encouraging Arjuna to fight. For Arjuna to fight. So we'll begin with the first section, section 1, the first 10 verses, where Arjuna expresses further doubts and confusion. Now, in the section 1, Arjuna, as we saw in the first chapter, is completely trembling, shivering with fear, confusion on what is the right course of action. So in this section we will see what is the practical application. Arjuna, when he is completely in a state of material bewilderment, he takes shelter of Krishna. So when one realizes that there is no shelter in the material world, including the mind and intelligence, when you are not able to work out what is good for you, one should take full shelter of the spiritual authority. Arjuna realizes that there is no other solution to this, and he takes shelter of Krishna. That we will see in these verses. Sanjaya Vacha Tam Tata Kripaya Vishtam Ashrupurna Kulekshanam Vishidantam Vidam Vakyam Vacha Madhusudhanaha. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudhana, Krishna, spoke the following words. Prabhupada says very beautifully that compassion for the dress of a drowning man is false compassion, and tears, compassion and depression of mind for the body which is going to die anyways is a sign of ignorance of the real self. So Arjuna is exhibiting all the signs and symptoms of a depressed materialist. He does not want his family members to die. He wants them to be alive and give him pleasure. He is seeking his own pleasure, pleasure of his own body, his own mind. And he is seeking the pleasure of others as well on a bodily platform. So material tears and compassion are signs of the ignorance of the soul. Because one should think about the development of the soul. So everybody in this material world is ignorant. I would say everybody, because a large population, very few, almost 1 in a million, is interested in self-realization and is aware of the real self. But mostly, everybody is just lamenting, just like somebody loses a cricket match or a football match. And people lament, cry, loss of business, all material losses. But nobody grieves for the loss of spiritual life, which is what they should grieve for. So Krishna now begins to speak in the Bhagavad-Gita for the first time. When Dhritarashtra speaks in the Bhagavad-Gita, it is Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Similarly, Sanjaya and Arjuna, when they speak, it is Sanjaya and Arjuna Uvacha. But when Krishna speaks, we see in the next verse that it is Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupastitam Anarya Justam Asvargya Akirtim Karam Arjuna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the values of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy." So here Krishna is telling Arjuna, "My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you?" Means you are from a Kshatriya family, you are from a well-to-do family, you know the values of life. Do you think the opposition will think that you have given up this fighting out of compassion? They will think you are a fool. You know the principles of Kshatriya warfare. These lead not to higher planets but to infamy. So Krishna is saying, what should have gone higher? Kirti, you are doing akirti. Asvargyam. So instead of going to Swarga, you are Asvargya. You are going to a different destination. Anarya. Arya means one who knows the values of life, and Anarya means one who does not know that. Please understand that Krishna is speaking on a friendly platform here. Arjuna is not yet surrendered. Arjuna is still telling his stories and his depression to Krishna. He is expressing it to him like a friend, and Krishna is also answering like a friend. Klaibyam masmagamah partha naitatvayupadyate kshudram hradaya dorbalyam tyaktotishta parantapa. So Parantapa means the chastiser of the enemy. He says, do not yield to this degrading impotence. So like a friend, he is telling, hey Arjuna, what is this? Come on, fight. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. So Krishna is speaking on a very friendly platform, encouraging Arjuna like a friend and a well-wisher. Now the most important thing to understand is that Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. In these two verses, Krishna speaks and he is addressed as Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So we will see. In this verse, Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan. Now Bhagavan is no ordinary person. The Supreme Absolute Truth is realized in three phases: Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. We will look at this in detail. Those who worship Bhagavan or the two-handed form of Krishna are the topmost transcendentalists. So those who have realized the Bhagavan feature, they attain the ultimate destination. According to Parashara Muni, the destination of one who understands Shri Bhagavan is Golok Vrindavan, and he explains who is this Bhagavan. he should have all 6 opulences in completeness, and only Krishna can claim to have all these 6 opulences in full. In various scriptures, in Brahma Samhita, Srimad Bhagavatam, etc., there are various sources explaining how Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Sri Krishna possesses all the wonderful qualities, all the 6 qualities of Bhagavan in completeness. That is why only he can be called as Bhagavan. The 6 qualities are: he is full in all riches. If anybody wants any riches, he prays to God, because God has all the riches. We come in between in this world, we have some riches and then we go. Because the ultimate owner is Krishna. So Krishna is the possessor of all riches. All fame. Krishna is known throughout the universe. Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Brahma, Surya, Chandra, everybody worships Krishna. We see in Krishna Leela how Indra could not understand Krishna and finally he had to worship him. So Krishna is all famous everywhere. If you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, in all the different universes, they worship various incarnations of Krishna. And God is the subject matter of debate everywhere. So Krishna is all famous. Krishna means all attractive. Krishna is all beautiful. All the gopis, gopas, and all the transcendental personalities like the great acharyas, they are attracted to the beauty of Krishna. Great acharyas like Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, they are not attracted to any material beauty, but they are attracted to the beauty of Krishna. Krishna is all powerful. He defeats all the big demons even when he was a child. He kills demon Putana when he is 3 months old. So it is not that he has to grow up to gain his powers. He is always the supreme absolute truth, and hence he is all powerful at all times and beyond time. All knowledge. Krishna speaks the Bhagavad-Gita. The Vedas are his breath. All knowledge comes from him. Sarve Radhi Sannivishto. He is in everybody's heart as Paramatma, giving knowledge to humans, animals, every species. He is all renounced as well. So Krishna appears in various incarnations, especially as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a renowned sannyasi. Not just that, Krishna gives us everything in this world. But it's very difficult for us to identify. Until and unless somebody wants to worship Krishna, Krishna conceals himself. But he is the true benefactor of everybody. Krishna is not attached to anything material, and hence he is all renounced. He is realized in 3 phases. As you can see, the central planet of the spiritual universes is Goloka Vrindavana. And around that, there are bright planets, Vaikuntha. And around that, there is a bright light called Brahmajyoti. So Krishna's bodily effulgence is also as good as Krishna in spiritual character, means it is fully spiritual. When transcendentalists who are trying to see Krishna, when they see Brahman, this spiritual light, they think that this is the ultimate feature of the Supreme and this light is the cause of all causes, but it is not, because Krishna is the cause of that light. So the initial realization of transcendentalists is Brahman. But the supreme feature is the two-handed Bhagavan. The second feature of the Supreme Lord is called Paramatma. He is present in everybody's heart in the four-handed Paramatma form as Vishnu. Krishna expands as many millions of Vishnu Tattvas, and in this material world he expands into every atom and in the heart of every living entity as Paramatma. So Krishna expands as Vishnu into each and every atom. So the goal of Ashtanga Yoga especially is to see this Vishnu form in the heart. But still, this is not the highest goal. Because Paramatma feature is once again the knowledge feature of Krishna. Vishnu is present everywhere, in every atom, in everybody's heart. So one realizes this with the Paramatma form. The topmost feature, however, of Krishna is the Bhagavan feature, the supreme feature. Krishna in his two-handed form and residing eternally in Goloka Vrindavan is the highest transcendental feature. So one who understands Brahman, Paramatma and understands Krishna is the cause of this Brahman, Paramatma, he is a true devotee. He is the topmost transcendentalist. And hence a devotee of Krishna is considered the topmost spiritual perfection. Further arguments by Arjuna not to fight this war. So after Krishna encourages him to fight, Arjuna still isn't convinced. He is not able to understand the friendly talks by Krishna and they are not dispelling his doubts. So Arjuna says, Katham Bhishmam aham sankhe Dronam cha madhusudhana Ishubih pratiyotsyami pujarha arisudhana. So Arjuna said, O killer of the enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counteract with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship? So Arjuna is trying to say, how can I kill Bhishma, my grandfather, and how can I kill my Guru Drona? They are my teachers and my seniors. Indirectly he is trying to say, Krishna, would you kill your Guru? Would you kill your seniors? So he decides that it's better to live by begging than kill the seniors of your family. It's better to live by begging than kill your own Guru. So he says, Guru na hatva hi mahanu bhavan Shreyo bhuktum bhaiksham api haloke Hatvartha khamamstu guruni haiva Bhunji abhogan udira pradigdan. He says, Shreyo bhuktum bhaiksham api haloke. I do not see any good in this. Hatvartha khamamstu guruni haiva. It is better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are my superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. So he is thinking that everything in this world will be tainted with the blood of my ancestors if I kill them and then sit on the throne. So Arjuna shows his indecision now. He is unable to fight. Na chaitat vidmaha kataranno gariho yadva jayema yadi vajayeyuhu yane vahatva na jivishamaste vashitah pramuke dhartarashtraha. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. So they are standing right in front of him and either he will die or they will die. So Arjuna knows the consequences, but out of his compassion for his fellow kinsmen, he is saying, better I go and beg and live a simple life. I don't want this kingdom. I don't want to kill my family, my parents. That's what he says. So Arjuna's indecision is clearly visible in this verse. He is unable to decide what is good or bad. To kill the Kauravas or to get killed by them. This shows a weakness of heart, mind and intelligence on the part of Arjuna. Arjuna is perplexed, yet he is eager to understand the truth from Krishna and to act responsibly. Therefore, as a sincere student, he accepts Krishna as his guru. He says, Karpanya dosha pahata swabhavaha prichami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. That is, I have lost all my composure now because of this miserly weakness. Yat shreyan nishchitam bruhitan me. Shreya, what is good for me? Nishchitam, certainly tell me, please. Shishyasteham shadi mam tvam prapannam. I am surrendering unto you as a disciple. So this is what one should do in order to get the true realization, to make all the solutions to one's life's problems. One should surrender unto spiritual master. One should surrender unto Krishna. Just like Arjuna. So Arjuna is expressing his inability to Krishna. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad yachokam uchokam indriyanam avapya bhumo asapatna raddham rajyam suranam api chadipatyam. I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. So Arjuna is not finding any way to drive away his grief. He is confused. So he is asking Krishna for certain what is good for him. So now Krishna becomes a guru. Krishna becomes the guru of Arjuna. So Sanjaya says, Eva muktva rashikesham gudakesha parantapa na yotsya iti govinda uktva tushnim babuvaha. Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of the enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. Now he wants Krishna to help him. Below is the Guru Parampara picture of our International Society for Krishna Consciousness. All the previous acharyas from whom we are learning this Bhagavad-Gita right now. These are the last 5 acharyas in our parampara. One should surrender unto Guru and one should learn Krishna consciousness from him, just like Arjuna learned from Krishna. Now Krishna is happy with Arjuna's surrender and begins to answer. Now Sanjaya informs that Krishna will now answer the questions of Arjuna. Tamuvacha rashikeshaha prasanniva bharata senayor ubhayor madhye vishidantam idam vachaha. Vishidantam, the lamenting. So that is the material sign of lamentation, is the result of material enjoyment. O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. So he speaks the following words. We should note that Krishna is smiling. Krishna is smiling because he is happy with the surrender by Arjuna. So similarly, when all of us surrender unto Krishna, he becomes happy. And then Bhagavad-Gita is revealed. So let us summarize this section. So Krishna chastises Arjuna for misplaced compassion. Arjuna's compassion is based on the body. The body is going to die anyways, Krishna says, and he calls him Anarya. Anarya means one who does not value the spiritual values of life. Arya means one who values spiritual authority, one whose life is based on spirituality, one who wants a spiritual life and wants to go to the kingdom of God after death. Whereas an Anarya is just wanting to enjoy this body as long as he lives and is not bothered about the next destination. So Arjuna similarly is attached to this body and is not bothered about the next destination, and hence he is confused about his duty. Actually, Arjuna is very clear, he is a devotee. But Krishna puts him in his confusion so that he can ask these questions for the betterment of all mankind. So, Arjuna is not able to drive away this grief. So, victory or opulence cannot dispel Arjuna's lamentation, because either he is going to get killed or he will kill the opposition. But Arjuna was sure he will kill the opposition. Yet he was lamenting, not thinking about the war, but thinking about the real goal, the real duty, what is best. And he is acting like an ignorant person who does not know about the spirit soul. So Sanjaya declares it to Dhritarashtra that Arjuna will not fight now, but he also says that Krishna is smiling, means there is good hope. When Krishna is smiling, that when Krishna is happy, everything will go right. In the midst of both armies, he will begin to answer Arjuna. So that is a very, very good sign. Hare Krishna. So we will end this first section here, and next we will go to the second section, a very important section on the spirit soul. Hare Krishna.